Friends and lovers, welcome to another episode of Three Dads in a Console. Hey, you know what? Some friends are lovers and some lovers are friends.
What song is that?
I don't know.
Friend,
I don't
lover,
know.
it's see you when it's Incubus.
Is it? No, it's
It
not.
is
No, it's not.
100%. Yeah,
No.
100%.
Which
Yep, I'm
which
gonna
one? Which
hold
one?
on. To see you when I wake up is a gift. Hold on,
Hold on.
Incubus,
Everybody clutch your steering
friends
wheels. White
and
knuckle time.
lovers lyrics. It is. It's like it's a whole thing.
Is
Friends
it?
and Lovers by Incubus. It is a song. Because we're in the end, we are friends and lovers. It's a real song.
Wow.
It's
Nailed it. Court
dude,
nailed it. Coming through clutch.
dude, that is all I could think about. As soon as you said it, I was like, "Huh? Hold on a second here."
Well, friends and lovers, lovers and friends, welcome to Three Dads and a Console. I am one of your hosts, Pizzel56X. Waba Plays is not with us today because he is stuck on the porcelain throne,
It's
sick as
got
a dog.
he's sick again.
It's, you know what it is? It's all the Chuck E. Cheese pizza. It's just
I
shredding.
was gonna say it's an extremely bad diet. Like
It's
honestly, the man eats terribly.
the Chuck E. Cheese pizza is shredding his insides, but because he's an addict, he can't give it up. It's like
His
oh,
only addiction is selling stuff that he buys for like $10.
it's like
That's his
Requiem
addiction.
Requiem for a Dream, but it's about Chuck E. Cheese pizza and not drugs.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hey, we have the video evidence. How many times have
Hey,
we talked about Chuck E. Cheese pizza on this podcast?
right now I'm trying to save money because it's days of play. So for people who have a PlayStation, I'm telling you right now, I don't know what it is lately. I only buy games when they're on sale, and I'm still trying to buy Alan Wake on sale. It's only 20%. And Alan Wake 2, that's still $80 here in Canada, by the way.
Man,
$80.
Canada, what are you doing?
So for the listeners right now, I was debating whether to buy all the Fallout 4 DLC. Maybe I do that and I play Fallout 4.
Far Harbor, very good. Nuka World, meh. Far Harbor, very good. I forget the other one because it's that
The other
forgettable.
one is Automatron, and then there's Contraptions.
Yeah. Nope.
But the only thing I hate about Fallout
Incredibly
4
forgettable.
is the
The
building of the
building.
base.
The building. It
Yeah,
stinks.
it's so
It stinks.
stupid.
It
Why do
stinks.
people why do it
I don't.
it
They
stinks.
they
It
did they did a better job in Fallout 76, but Fallout 4 it's terrible. The second thing I dislike about Fallout 4 is Preston Garvey always just being like, "Hey, that settlement needs help." I'm like, "Dude, leave me alone. I'm looking
you
for my
see, now
son."
I can't play Fallout 4. I'm looking at this, all the Assassin's Creed stuff's on sale. You
Hmm.
know what, Pez? I'm like, I wish I'd never played them before so I could
So you can
just
play him again.
but I
I'm
can't
I
because
might
I
have to
tried.
buy Mirage. I still haven't played it.
Dude, that game's amazing.
I know. I have to jump in on it. Hashtag Ubisoft partner. We have to jump in on it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get RoboCop. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Smart, very smart. My friend
Just trying to find it.
Colonel Biggles is a big '80s guy, and he loved RoboCop. He loved it. He said it was
Oh, okay, I'm getting it,
fantastic.
okay.
Do it.
That's just
Yes.
that's all. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I'm getting
Yes.
RoboCop. I just gotta find it.
For those for the uninitiated, that beautiful voice you hear is my co-host Court. Court, what's
Hey,
the
what's
crack?
going on? Well, the crack is jeez, I can't do your crack is 9 thing, but, um, I opened my pool this week, and it is green, like Ninja Turtle slime green. So
Love
I've
it.
been cleaning it. It's because of the weather's just been so weird. It hasn't been really cold,
Yeah.
so we've had a lot of warmer weather, so it's pretty nasty. It's
Listen,
it's it's pretty nasty.
15 gallons of shock, and that bad boy is gonna be bluer than the Bahama Ocean.
No, so it hasn't so far not good.
No,
I've tried the shock, nothing has happened yet. Um,
but did you try the awe?
the shock and awe, no, I put
Okay.
some chemicals in this bad boy. So we'll see, but I went and saw a movie this weekend.
Ooh, lay it on me.
So my daughter and I went and saw If with Ryan Reynolds.
I
It's
want to hear
amazing.
all about it. All about it.
It's amazing. For a family movie, it is phenomenal, but I will say this, why do they always have to kill a parent at the beginning of almost every movie that has to do with kids? Is it just do we need to have loss? I'm not gonna lie, I was a puddle in this movie, a couple of times, and especially near the end because I thought something, and it was my wife and I were sitting there, and she turns to me, and she goes, "Is this gonna happen?" And I'm like, "I don't know, but it better not." And we both started crying.
And it
So,
did?
like,
Oh
they
no. Is
no,
it
they
Bing
no
Bong like all over again?
no, but
Okay.
it's
Devastating.
very well done. I will say this, my daughter walked away thinking the movie was fantastic. So, my daughter is almost 8 years old. She thought it was great. I actually think little Pez would love this. It's all about did you grow up watching the Muppet Babies in the
Of course.
'80s,
Yeah.
the early '90s? You know how they always talk about using your imagination?
Yep.
That's what this is about, kids' imagination, and the story is Ifs, which is imaginary friends. Your Ryan Reynolds and the little girl, they're trying to rehome these Ifs.
Mm.
Now, only people who believe can see them. So it's kinda like, Christmas magic, all that
Yep.
kinda stuff. But they then realize that these ifs don't need to be rehomed. They need to go back to their kids that are now adults because they still need them. And those adults don't
Interesting.
realize. So then you find that way to like make that adult remember and realize that it needs their friends because everybody needs friends. And it's, dude, it's so touching. It's very well done. Ryan Reynolds is phenomenal in pretty much everything he does. I can't say enough good things about this movie, and it's interesting because the reviews are like, "Meh," and I'm just like, "Maybe that's just the way it is." Because everybody walked away from Furiosa said it's amazing, and that thing is flopping. Maybe people are just not wanting to go to the movies because this thing is fantastic family fun, and I truly, truly think anybody who's listening, take your kid to it. It is fantastic.
Anytime
Fantastic.
anytime I see Ryan Reynolds in a movie, I'm not sure what age range this movie is going to be for because he can come off very like family friendly and then halfway through he's dropping F bombs and all this stuff. But
He doesn't do that anymore.
I mean, Deadpool is coming out.
Yeah, but that's rated R, that's totally different.
True. That's true. Um, so I mean, it's on her list to see.
Dude,
So
it's good.
I
I'm
want to
telling
I
you,
want to see it. I saw a movie
it's
this
good.
weekend
What'd you go see?
at home. I saw The Iron Claw.
Is it good? 'Cause I wanna see it. It's on Prime now, right? It's
It
on
is
Amazon
in the
or
US
HBO?
it's on Max, but it
So
might be on Prime. It is
excuse me.
fantastic. I cried at the end. Yep, it was
Really?
my wife and I
I
watched
didn't
it.
think you had emotions.
I cry all the time. Uh, I hide it very well. My wife and I. So for those that don't know, it's a story. It's a story about the Von Erichs, which is one of the most famous wrestling families in the world. There were four brothers, and it talks about basically like how the family is cursed and how real life events have transpired. And the acting is very good. Zac Efron plays the lead. He plays Kevin Von Erich.
Is
He
it
plays
good?
the
He is
older brother.
underrated.
He is
He is very
extremely
good.
underrated. It was a little off-putting in this movie because Kevin Von Erich is massive, so he like got yoked up. Like he is a pretty slim dude. Like he's cut, but he's pretty slim. In this one, he is huge, big, broad chest, like yoked up, like a wrestler. And I was like, "Ooh, I'm pretty." It looked strange, but it was an incredible movie. Um, I think Jeremy Allen White is his name, the kid that's in The Bear. He's one of the brothers. He was excellent, and like
Dude,
in
that
the
is one
end,
of the best TV shows ever, by the way.
especially if you are have a strong relationship with your siblings, like I do. Like my brother is like my best friend. We're 14 months apart. Blah blah blah. Puddle at
Best
the end.
friend? You gonna call the guy that didn't bring you to game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals your best friend?
Yes, because that's what you do with friends. You forgive them for their
Oh,
stupid
that's not a
mistakes.
forgivable. That's I just bought RoboCop, by the way.
Did you? Oh, let's go,
Mhm.
dude. You are
I'm
gonna
so
be
excited.
in.
I'm so excited.
Just slap on some Pit Vipers and a neon shirt, dude, and you are back in the 80s. You're in
Viper! Sorry, I'm just thinking
Viper.
Secret Life of Pets 2. Viper! Viper!
So yeah, Iron
The
Claw,
Viper!
10 out of 10. Cried like a baby. Loved every second of it. Very, very good movie. And then it was a long weekend here in the US. So
Yes, it was, wasn't it?
yeah, it was Memorial Day. I took little Pezzy Poo down to the field to test her ankle. She was fine. She went to practice Tuesday. Played some Sea of Thieves, played Rogue Prince of Persia, which is excellent, by the way.
Yes, thank you, Ubisoft, for providing us a code for review.
Yeah, shout out to Ubisoft. They provided three dads a code, and Court said, "Hey, like we have this code. Pez, you want to play it?" And I was like,
It's
"Yeah,
a Pez game. Like, let's be
100%."
honest here.
Anyone who's
Mind
followed,
you, though, I did like the Prince of Persia. the
And
newest one. Like that game's amazing.
anyone who has followed this this podcast and our YouTube channel for a while knows that if a roguelite's coming out, I'm gonna play it and review it for us. Like
100%.
Hades 2, now this, which will be up for review soon. Trinity Fusion, like Tape to Tape is a roguelite, and I still play the bejesus out of that game. So this is a roguelite game. It is much in the same vein as Dead Cells because it is developed by Evil Empire, who developed Dead Cells. So there is a very Dead Cellian feel to it. However, the big thing that differentiates itself from Dead Cells is there is a movement mechanic where the prince can run off walls. So behind you in the background, it's kind of like this parallax scrolling that almost reminds you of like Sega Genesis games, where if there is a pit, you can run up the wall and then jump off of it past the pit. And that is like this insane movement mechanic that you don't really see in these type of games. You mostly see jump in the air, dash, jump, dash, jump, double jumps, all that stuff. This is a different take on the roguelite experience. You are the Prince of Persia. You are trying to save your people from an attack from the Huns, and you are just doing everything you can to defeat the Huns. I'm only an hour and a half in. I played it exclusively on the Steam Deck. It runs like butter. For those that, if you couldn't hear it, I just did a little chef's kiss. It runs incredibly well.
I thought you were like, I just farted and you were letting everybody know.
No. We only share those on stream when we do that. It ran 60 frames per second. I was able to, it didn't kill my battery. It looks great. It's got this very bright color palette that is a stark contrast to when you think about other roguelike games like Trinity Fusion and Hades 2 that have these like rich reds, but they're also kind of dark. And even Dead Cells is like, its base is black, but its base color is like a black, but then when you go into different biomes, that really makes the color pop. This is a very bright game, yellows and purples, and the prince's, you can see on our thumbnail, the prince's skin is pink. So like you have these very bright colors. It's very cartoony and it's very nice to look at. And Ubisoft just did a really good game, and it's now out on early access. So if you're one of these people that are gonna just rail against early access, don't bother. It's fine. But I think Ubisoft is committed to making sure that the fan base is heard, because a lot of these early access roguelike games, they want to hear from their people. They want to hear from the player base, and truly, I think this is going to be one of those games that Ubisoft is going to crush it. I really do.
Really? So you think that the their roguelike Prince of Persia, because like the roguelike Far Cry, it was bad.
No, I think I think this has legs behind it. I know, and this is all anecdotal, so what I say may not mean anything, but I know people who Hades is a huge game, Hades 2 is a huge game, and I know people that have enjoyed this more than those.
Really?
Yeah. It's side scrolling. It's not the like isometric kind of Hades. It's side scrolling. Again, if you like Dead Cells, this is very Dead Cellian.
It's made by them, right?
Yeah, so it's made by Evil Empire, who developed Dead Cells. There's like this whole Dead Cells background of, it was initially developed by somebody and then they broke off and then took the development of Dead Cells. So anyway, it doesn't matter. But it has a lot of Dead Cells. It has a lot of Dead Cells roots. So if you like Dead Cells, I truly believe that you'll like this game. I have not gotten very far. I've made it to the like first boss, quote unquote, 2 or 3 times, and I have finally learned the mechanic in which you beat him. At first, I didn't understand it, and I was just trying to brute force my way through, and it didn't work. So now it's like, okay, let's use everything we have at our disposal, and let's try something else. And then I tried that something else, and immediately took his shields away, and I was like, Greg, you moron, you should have done this to begin with. So it's a lot of fun. I was coming back to it. And this is like after I watched Iron Claw and I was crying, I was all sad, and I was like, I'm just gonna play my Steam Deck. And then like Hour and a half later, next thing I know, it's like, oh man, I should go to bed. Like,
Is it like the
getting late.
perfect game for Steam Deck, I would almost think?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of those games are great for the Steam Deck, but this is another one. It's tuned perfectly for the Steam Deck. Again, runs beautifully. The control scheme fits everything that you need to do on the Steam Deck. And what I really like about the Steam Deck, because I'm gonna spend some time probably rebinding some keys because I find myself getting confused a lot when it comes to abilities and where they sit on the, L1, R1, L2, R2. But Steam Deck, you can rebind anything you want. So yeah, I recommend it. If you have some extra bucks sitting around and you're a roguelike fan, throw your money towards it. Again, support the companies that you really like. And I really enjoyed it. So whatever that means to you out there listening to this, a review will be up on 3dadsconsole.com and youtube.com/3dads on a console. My goal is to get one up this weekend, but we'll see if work will allow me to do that. And yeah, again, I really enjoyed it. I highly recommend it. Check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I kind of knew you would like it. It was more like I remember even seeing the announcement, and I'm like, such a Pez game.
Yeah. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Speaking of
1,000,000.
Speaking of announcements that somehow have boggled the mind, Call of Duty's coming to Game Pass.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this because I'm so confused. For everybody that's listening, please let me know in the comments. Just write us who was surprised by this after they were purchased by Xbox? I was so confused. Like I thought, and I could be wrong, it's not like they said it, but the messaging from day one was like, the games are coming to Game Pass. Like
Correct.
they said when they bought Activision Blizzard, they didn't just spend all that kind of money. Like all the games are coming to Game Pass. So when they bought Activision, why did people think that was going to change? It does seem that Xbox's strategy has changed because we know that this game is coming to PlayStation. It's all I don't believe it's ever going to stop coming to PlayStation. I do think that every Xbox game moving forward is going to come to PlayStation. People can get mad at me saying that. That's fine, but I do think that. But I'm very confused. I think this is amazing for Game Pass, but because Xbox, the one thing I'm very curious about, Xbox said already that they weren't going to be doing the, this console gets this and this, like every player is going to get everything the same. I would almost think this is an opportunity for them to take that back and do it where Xbox players get the maps first and all that. And I think that's an advantage because right now, I had a conversation with a friend of mine who has a PlayStation, does not own an Xbox. And I said to him, and he plays Call of Duty. I was like, well, Call of Duty's coming to Xbox. Like, are you going to switch? He's like, no. I was like, well, why not? He's like, well, I'm only buying Call of Duty. That's $100. He's like, or I can go spend $500 on an Xbox console plus $100 for Game Pass. So he's like, that's $600, or I can just spend $100. I was like, I never looked at it that way.
Right.
I looked at it as like, oh, you're going to get people to switch over right away. And I'm like, I don't think we are.
No, but
I do think that Xbox 2 weeks from now is gonna drop all the Call of Duty games are on Game Pass. I think all of them are gonna be there,
mhm.
and everybody's gonna be playing Call of Duty, and I think that's great. It's just I didn't see this as a surprise.
No. And I think it's just like, I think it's just gamers are like, oh my God, can you believe that this is happening? This is so neat. And it's like, come on, guys. Like, we knew this was happening. It's like, oh, Xbox goes out and buys Bethesda, and all of a sudden Bethesda games aren't going to be on Game Pass. Like, what do you got?
Heck, they're on PlayStation Plus.
Like, what do you think they're doing with it? Like, obviously that's what they're going to do. And they're going to continue having these games on PlayStation because the PlayStation people buy them. So if you're not going to buy the subscription and not buy your Xbox Series X, and you have a PlayStation 4 or 5, I almost said PlayStation 3, imagine such a thing. You're going to spend your $60 to $80 to $90, depending on where you live, for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, the Blackest Ops edition. And that's it. And like, that's it. And it's smart on Microsoft to not just say like, hey, we're going to cut out a portion of you bozos that buy this every single year. Instead, it's, well, if you want to see what else is on the table, you can go buy yourself an Xbox Series S for $150 and get 3 months of Game Pass for $30, or just go buy it for $60 for your $80 or $70 for your PlayStation. I don't even know how much
Would
these games
you be
are
shocked
anymore.
if they raise the price of Game Pass and they did a tier system like PlayStation
No,
and that Call of Duty was on the highest tier only.
would not nothing these game companies do. Nothing they do surprises me anymore.
I think Xbox needs to do it to recoup.
It well, I mean, they're already doing like what Xbox Game Pass Core and Xbox Game Pass
They're not.
Ultimate,
No,
and
they just have Ultimate. I think they're going to do another tier. I think Ultimate's going to stay there, and they're going to have a middle tier. They're just going to have Xbox Core. They'll have Xbox Game Pass, and they'll have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate.
Mm,
Game Pass Ultimate will you can still on the middle tier. You can still play on PC, but Game Pass Ultimate gets you day and date Call of Duty
yeah,
and
it would
day
not
and
surprise
date
me.
any of their games.
Yep,
The games will always be coming to Game Pass, but they're day and date on Ultimate.
it would not surprise me one bit, and truly, I am truly, I'm gonna say the word flummoxed that they haven't already. Bang, big word of the day, flummoxed. Yeah, surprised they haven't already. And again, like when Elder Scrolls 6 or Fallout 5 comes out in 2050, the same thing's gonna happen. You can buy it on your PlayStation, but it'll be included in your Game Pass subscription. Maybe
Yep.
on Game Pass Ultimate Plus or whatever they're gonna whatever
Plus, plus.
stupid name they're gonna call it.
Yeah, I just after all those earnings calls and all that, that I have a I just have a feeling that they're gonna do something different. They have
I
to charge
mean,
more. We know
they,
they've lost money, so
yeah, at this point they have to, right? Like they're not gonna catch Sony in the console market, so they have
nope.
to make up for it in the software market. And to make up for that in the software market, you're now gonna put your games on Sony products and Nintendo products because no one's buying an Xbox to play Xbox games, but people will play Xbox games on their Switch. People will play Sea of Thieves on their PS5. People will play Grounded on their PS5. And they'll play Call of Duty on their PS5 like they have been for the past 5 years. So who knows? I don't know. I'm glad that Call of Duty is coming to Game Pass because I am sick of paying 60, 70, 80, $90 for Call of Duty because it has like zombie modes and then zombies never gets updated. They just stop updating the game and they just pay attention to Warzone. So for me, that saves me some cash because I don't now like I didn't buy the last Call of Duty. What was it? Not World at War. What are you doing? MW3. I didn't buy it. Modern Warfare 3. I didn't buy it because I
bought them all on sale.
I didn't trust that they would keep the modes that I play updated.
Fair enough.
And they didn't.
I do think this will be better for Game Pass. I mean, for Call of Duty players, that if the game's on Game Pass, because you're gonna get more people playing like the Call of Duty that you like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you like a specific multiplayer, then more people, because I have a funny feeling like all the old multiplayers, those servers, they're gonna go crazy when this stuff hits Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Like people will be jumping on Black Ops 2 and the original Modern Warfare 2 and just like going ham on it. And that's cool. Like I like it. I like that. I like that. Play the games that you like. And if you haven't experienced Modern Warfare 2's original game in the original campaign, like that was mind blowing back then. When you go through the airport and you were like gunning down civilians and stuff, like that is stuff that you really don't see anymore because it was so shocking at the time. And like the political aspect of it was insane. If you can go back and play those, like go back and play them. They were a lot of fun. Especially the first two Modern Warfares. Woof, great. Go play World at War. Put your bouncing betties in the dirt and just have a great time.
Dude, I went back and played World at War. That didn't hold up, but I'm hoping that if they're coming to Game Pass, we get like the better looking version.
That'd be nice. Like upres it a bit, maybe tweak the controls a bit, or allow us to rebind controllers.
Would be nice.
Boston's losing 1-0. Terrible.
You know what? At least they got to it's the first year.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Speaking of fine, Sony State of Play tomorrow, aka Thursday. If you're listening to this on Thursday, what are you expecting from the boys in blue?
So it's only half an hour. So I want to temper everybody's expectations. I expect them to just be going trailer after trailer after trailer. I think 100% Death Stranding 2. I think the Astro game, the rumored Astro game, we're going to see it. I even think in that half an hour we're going to see where we'll the rumored Astro game we'll see here, but I want to add to this to my prediction that at Summer Games Fest, which is the following week, we will see the PlayStation Pro 5 Pro,
Ooh, okay.
and we will see a game there from Sony that we won't see during the state of play, because usually state of plays for temporary people's expectations, there's not many huge showings at a state of play. So I don't expect to see Ghost of Tsushima 2. I don't expect to see Wolverine there. I don't expect that because I would expect those to be at a showcase.
Yes.
So maybe some Final Fantasy DLC, maybe some stuff for Helldivers 2, but I don't expect anything to knock my socks off besides Astrobot. I can't see any of our big. The only thing I could maybe see is, and this is just shot in the dark, we get the God of War DLC here or at the Game Awards, and we get Uncharted here or at the game. I'm not the Game Awards at Summer Games Fest.
Like a new Uncharted, like Uncharted 5.
Yeah, because it's definitely that game exists.
Yeah.
So they did their commercial last year, and they put it in the commercial, and then we never got to see the game. So I'm just still confused to this day on how
Why like
we
why
haven't
did you put it in?
you
Doesn't make
put it in the
sense.
commercial, and we still haven't seen the game. So because we know Sony Ben's working on, we know all these studios are working on stuff. So I think we're gonna see Marathon, which is the Bungie game.
Mhm.
We'll see Contraband or whatever it's called. Is that what it's called? I can't even
Is that
remember.
that's not
I think we'll see a lot of things that
maybe.
we've seen before,
Yeah,
and maybe uh, third party, like I don't know. Will we see Assassin's Creed there? Maybe,
maybe.
maybe. You know what I mean? Like we're not. I don't think any. It's only half an hour. I don't think we're gonna get anything where we're like, oh my god. But if we do, it would be like DLC. It would be God of War, Spider Man. That's what we're gonna see.
Yeah. Yeah, I they said on their blog 30 minutes, 14 titles,
Yes.
PS5 and PSVR, so I think you'll see maybe you get like Death Stranding 2, maybe you get like a Silent Hill teaser, right? Like maybe
Well,
you
no,
get something like
Silent Hill
that.
teasers tomorrow, no matter what.
Is it? Are they doing their
Like
own thing?
they're doing their own thing tomorrow.
Gotcha. Um, you'll get some
Metal Gear
PSVR
Solid,
titles. You'll get
Metal
some
Gear Solid
PSVR
Snake.
titles like that you may or may not care about. Yeah, I don't. I think if you get anything big, it will be the last game, and it'll just be like maybe like a teaser for it.
Yeah, and it's gonna be something like Spider-Man or God of War. They're gonna give you something.
Yeah,
But I've been very disappointed with PlayStation with regards to their showcases and their state of plays. So, and I don't expect much. There's
right.
a rumor that they're gonna have something in September, and that they're just not ready to show everything, which is just at this point crazy to me. But if you look at their how much money they're making, they just put out their financials today. They're destroying everybody.
Yeah,
So
they don't have to rush to do anything. Like
11 million copies of Spider-Man 2.
they could release, Helldivers 2 this year, and they could have just been fine with that and been like, "Hey, we sold, whatever, 1.2 million copies or whatever they sold." I think it was way more than that, but like we sold a ton of copies of Helldivers 2, like that outpaced its initial projection. Like we're good. We're going to just, put Uncharted or put Ghost of Tsushima 2 or whatever in the crock pot and give it some more time because we can.
Yep.
And
Well,
like,
I think they would wanna do, like, a big reveal for those, no?
oh,
And a
1000%.
state of play isn't. I
I
hope I'm
think
wrong. I
uh,
hope I'm wrong.
uh, you know, I think for that, like, if they wanted to announce like a big game like Wolverine, like the last thing they show is like this 15 or 20-second thing where either like he's sitting at the bar or it shows like a different game logo and
But
then
Sony X pretty much said that's not gonna happen, like, we're not gonna see it.
and then the claws come through like the screen or whatever. Like something, if they want to announce a big game, you just give it one of those little like hot teasers and that's it. But I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna. Again, I think it's gonna be a pretty
Which
standard
is
state of play.
crazy. Think about it. They don't like there's no E3 and I think they'll have if they're gonna announce any big game, I think it's gonna be next week at Summer Games Fest. I truly do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know, man. Like nothing that Sony really has done in their like state of plays has made me go bananas. No bananas.
No bananas.
No
And well, I
bananas.
would doubt Ubisoft would be there because they've got their own forward.
Right.
And then I doubt we'd see anything from BioShock because that's gonna be at the 2K event. So it's like,
Yeah, I get like a Judas trailer, right? Like
but we
something we've seen
yeah,
before.
maybe from Ken Levine, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a Judas trailer.
I
Again,
think it's gonna
maybe.
be a lot of stuff we've seen before. I
Yeah.
do.
Yep. And I think most of the stuff we'll see, maybe not most, but if I had to put a percentage on it, 35% of the stuff we'll see is like PSVR 2 titles. That, like people won't care about, and then no one will buy it, and then they'll complain why Sony didn't do anything with the PS.
I think people are gonna complain about this no matter what.
Of course, well, of course they are. They're gamers. That's what we do.
Well, because they've got these expectations for what, but a state of play gives me no expectations. Once they
No,
called it a state of play, I'm like, all right. Mind you, the last showcase was terrible, so what's the difference?
right.
And they don't have Final Fantasy to show, so finally I won't have to see a state of play with Final Fantasy.
Your favorite game of the year, Final Fantasy
Oof.
9.
That's all they ever do is show Final Fantasy at these darn
They
things. So,
love Final Fantasy.
dude, way too much. So
We are gonna get Final Fantasy 7. It's gonna be like Kingdom Hearts. Final Fantasy 7.2.5.
do you think we see Kingdom Hearts?
I don't think so. Kingdom Hearts is not a state of play game. Kingdom Hearts 4 is like a Summer Games Fest game.
But that's only a week. They're only a week from each other, right? Summer Games Fest
Right.
is next week.
Right. I'm hoping like
Right?
Summer Games Fest, we see some like absolute hits. Like I want to know what's happening with Monster Hunter Wilds. They announced that game a year and a half ago, and it's been silenced ever since.
Well, Xbox has like a whole showcase next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. But then
Well, that's
like
what I don't get though. But PlayStation's got nothing.
no, they just said, "Hey, here's our 30-minute state of play. Take
It's
it."
like
And
they're doing it for fun.
we haven't even heard from Nintendo. Like, who knows what Nintendo's doing? I don't even know if Nintendo knows what they're doing.
Paper Mario.
That's it. Here's your Paper Mario. Here are like here are your remakes. Paper Mario. Here is Luigi's Mansion 2. Pay $20 more. We're not adding any content to it. Buy it up because you know you will. And we'll announce the Switch 2 in like March of 2025. Have a good one, everybody. See you later. Goodbye. Bye.
Yeah, I do think this in the next 2 weeks we get to see the PS5 Pro. I think that's a definite. It's an easy. You wouldn't announce if the rumor is September, you wouldn't announce it in September and then sell it for November. It's too far.
No.
So
Are you surprised they went the PS5 Pro route? I guess if when you
no,
look
not
at
at
the
all.
history,
Not at all.
it makes
Not
sense,
at all.
right? Like that's
I'm
what
gonna
they
get
did.
it. I got 2 Xboxes, 2 PS5s. I'm gonna get one of the PS5s and one of the Xboxes and get a PS5 Pro.
Look at this guy.
Trade
Crushing
2
it.
in for 1 and
Crushing it.
walk away. Crushing
Crushing
is
it.
not a word. I spent way too I wasted money on these
The
Xbox Series fridges.
oh man, I know this. I like my Series X, but man, I wish there was more stuff I could just do on it.
I don't play on it at all. I don't play on it. I played Hellblade 2. That's it.
Mine is a MLB The Show machine. That's what I do with this. I play MLB The Show to put it on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/3dads on console. Check out our Pirates franchise. It's excellent. And that's it. That's all I use it for. Because most of the Game Pass stuff I play on PC. So it's like, what's the point?
Well, that makes sense.
What's the point? Would rather sail on the PC. Play my sea shanties to enjoy Grog 2 playlist and just go off into the sunset.
Yeah, because like even Sea of Thieves, I played that on my PS5.
Yeah. Again, like how many times have we heard from Xbox like, oh, the we're gonna be in TVs. Game Pass is gonna be in Roku TVs, Xbox TVs. It's like the console is becoming obsolete and the service is gonna be everywhere.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. No one's saying that. No one's saying that.
Not gonna do what y'all think I'm gonna do.
Didn't say it. Mm-mm. Court. A little game we talked about last week called College Football 25 has come out. It has not come out.
You're excited.
If it came out, I wouldn't be here right now. I would be playing College Football 25. But ton of news coming down from people who were sent to Orlando by EA. So EA brought in a ton of press and a ton of creators to come in. Guys like creators that I watch religiously on YouTube, guys like Not the Expert, who literally just does college football stuff. Mills over on Twitch. And they dropped a whole ton of info today. So Dynasty is coming back. It's 30.
So explain to me what all this is.
Okay. So College Football 25 will be broken up into basically three or four modes. It'll be Road to Glory, which is like your superstar mode. Dynasty, which is your franchise mode. Ultimate Team, which is Ultimate Team. And then your Play Now, which is Play Now. So Dynasty is what NCAA football games were known for, because in your Dynasty you pick your school, you recruit players, you go through everything. They have stated that there are every year of your Dynasty, it's a 30, you can go up to 30 years. Every year of your Dynasty, the CPU will create 4,000 recruits for you to go through and try to bring onto your team. Much like college football currently, there is a transfer portal. So this is pretty new to college football, where if you commit to Colorado and you don't like it, or you think you can get playing time somewhere else, you go into the transfer portal and then you can sign with another school. It's basically free agency for college football. This is in the game as well. So as you're recruiting high school kids, those high school kids, if they commit somewhere else, will remember you when they hit the transfer portal, and you can bring them to your team. It's crazy. You can also take kids on your team and persuade them to go into the transfer portal so you can open up spots on your roster. It is a legit like free agency, much like it is in real college football. It's craziness. It's crazy. Like we talked about last week, all the everything is authentic to how teams run out onto the field. The music, really, like the only two songs that aren't in it is, shockingly, Metallica Enter Sandman, because it was too expensive, because it's Metallica, and Wisconsin plays House of Pain's Jump Around, which is way too expensive to license. Other than that, whatever your fight song is when you come out, it's going to be there. Whatever your traditions are, like Army, in Army games, the Army fans do the Tsunami. That is in the game. As we saw in the trailer, all of the pregame stuff is there. You know, touching on the gator, touching on the eagle, touch on the signs, all that stuff is there. From what I've heard, there is a new system called Wear and Tear. I wanted to mention this because this is something that I hope that they will implement in the NHL games. So Wear and Tear is not a fatigue system. It is a system that only happens in game, and basically how it works is, if in football terms, if your quarterback drops back and he gets sacked and he gets hit hard in the leg, that could then change his leg's animation. Maybe it drops his speed a bit. If he gets hit in the arm, maybe that, changes his throw power for the rest of the game because he has a bruised shoulder or whatever. And that also happens defensively. This is what people have been talking about, but Mills specifically on Twitch was talking about it. And he said, if you have a big bruising running back and you run it, the linebacker, multiple times, that then can wear that linebacker down to where maybe when they drop in coverage, they're not as good in coverage because their shoulders hurt, their leg hurts, whatever. And my thought immediately went to NHL, because if you have a wear and tear system and you target like Connor McDavid and you wear him down throughout the game and you are like pitting him against the boards and stuff, and then it makes Connor McDavid in that game in the third period maybe less effective. That is an interesting system that is not in any of the EA games. This is not in Madden. This is not
Is this game available on previous gen, or is it only on next gen?
It is only on next gen. So it's only available for the PS5 and the Xbox Series games. No Xbox Series consoles. No PC, no Xbox One, no PS4. So this is going to be a true next generation sports experience. And I think for us as like sports gamers, it's the first one. Because they're all on previous gen
Yeah, they're all
consoles.
previous gens.
So
And like FIFA will be for years.
Yeah, and we've talked about how MLB The Show should ditch last gen because there are things
Have to.
in the last gen that are holding it back.
100%.
But this one was only built for current gen consoles. So I am very interested to see how this game plays on the field, how it looks on the field, because now if we're talking PS5 and Xbox Series XS only, this thing should be beautiful. And what I really like that I heard is they went to the college football revamped modding community. So for those not in the know, NCAA 14 was the last NCAA game that came out in 2013. Recently, there is and when I say recently, I mean the past couple of years, 3-4 years or so, there has been a modding community called College Football Revamped that has gone into the files, has added new teams, has added new AI, has added new recruits, has added the new playoff structure. EA went and hired some of these people to work on this game.
Smart.
They have guys who have worked on NCAA 05. I think his name is Ben Hausman. I definitely said his last name wrong, but I remember him talking about NCAA 05 to 14 because he worked on those games. He is part of this team. They have worked on they have worked on college football 25 for like 2 years, and they have done site visits to arenas and fields and places they haven't, like Vanderbilt that's building a brand new stadium. They got the construction plans and they built the stadium around the construction plans of how Vanderbilt wants this thing to look. This, I think, is going to be our first true next gen or current gen experience in a sports game. And I'm really excited. I went into it, and you can go on my Twitter, twitter.com/Bazell5. You go on my Twitter and you can hear me say, I don't know, man. It kind of looks like a reskin Madden. I don't know, man. EA's burned me before. EA, you son of a gun, you got me. But hearing all the positivity from guys I know that play franchise modes that will shred franchise modes makes me excited. Because, again, not the expert Mills Twitch streamer. Mills will go on and play Madden and be like, these are the problems with Madden. And just for years has said this is the problem with Madden franchise. This is the problem with Madden. They're too busy paying attention to Ultimate Team. He said that they were in Orlando and they didn't talk about Ultimate Team once. All they talked about was Road to Glory. They talked about Dynasty. They talked about Team
What
Build.
is the Ultimate Team in this?
It's going to be the same as Madden Ultimate Team because they have all these players licensed. So all the players are licensed now. So Shador Sanders, Deion Sanders' kid, he'll be an Ultimate Team card. That's just what's going to happen.
Are they just going to make it so grindy again?
Probably.
Just not fun? No offline? Just terrible?
Probably. I mean, for college football gamers, the offline has always been Dynasty. That's its bread and butter. So I don't know. I don't know what the Ultimate Team is going to be, but from everything that folks have talked about coming out of the event down in Orlando, and again, got to take it with a grain of salt because EA paid these dudes didn't pay them, paid their hotel, paid their flight, take it with a grain of salt. But everything that I was worried about has been addressed, and people that I trust in that gaming space has said yeah, this is legit. I played it and I was blown away by it. And even little things you can't run the same play over and over. If, again, Mills was talking about before we got on the stream about an Army Navy game, and Army went down and scored, and then it was 6-0 and they went for 2 just to lengthen that lead. And stuff like that doesn't happen that much in these older games because the AI just isn't sophisticated enough. So I'm wondering if, because it's on these next gen consoles, if that AI sophistication now is going to move to the next step.
I hope so, because for me, well, you and I both, we love our sports games. So like I'm gonna play this game. I play Madden, I play FIFA. I really every year just want NHL to be good.
Oh,
So I'm
just dying
hoping
for it.
some of the things you're just make the game good again. I have behind me, you can see 95, 94, 96, 93. They were so good.
Just do it.
So
Like
good. Just
I
make the game good again.
I truly feel like I truly feel that companies need to just cut the cord of previous console generations. That is the only way, because if you're still building a game for PS4, there is no way you can use the enhanced abilities of the PS5 and Xbox Series consoles and do the game justice.
Oh, I think one of my biggest issues is Hockey Ultimate Team, how terrible it is.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. We've harped on it a million times.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
not
so
good.
bad.
It's not fun. I don't understand.
But you said Madden's better.
Madden's much better. Madden's much better because like you can log in and it's much like MLB The Show in a way that like you can log in and do some challenges and like you'll get a, whatever. Let's say it's the fantasy football weekly challenges. You go in, you have 3 challenges to do. You do your challenges, you get your 96 player of the week, but then you also get a collectible for the end of the season. Where if you get all the collectibles, you then turn in for another card. So you're still getting your, week 17, 98 Tom Brady, but at the end of it, you turn in your collectibles, you get your 99 Pat Mahomes or whatever. So there is more reward in Madden and Ultimate and FIFA FC than there is in NHL. But it's different content teams. And like Madden and FC are always putting stuff out, and NHL went like once a week. Trash.
Yep.
And Waba's not
right.
here to defend it. So take that. Take that,
Yeah,
Waba.
seriously, because usually he's just like, no, dog. No, dog.
That may be a no dog for him. But
1-0 Dallas, by the way.
It's a 1-0 Dallas. Let's go. Dallas. Go Dallas. You know what's a yes dog for me, Court? Outright Games,
Dude.
collector's edition.
It's in the chat. If you go into the assets section of our Discord, I put it there.
For Mutants Unleashed.
Dude, do you see this thing? This thing is unbelievable.
Beautiful.
So one, they sent us some screenshots as well, and you can see that in the look how good the game looks with Leo up on the skateboard.
I know.
Like, dude, and then this collector's edition. So one, the pizza van, it's like it's not the van that we grew up in the 1989s or the
No.
90s, but it looks so good. And then the neon sign, and then the art book with the stickers. Like it's almost like it's like here's the stuff for the dad, and then here's the stuff for the kid.
Yep.
Like everything about this collector's box makes me kind of want to get it. Like I'm really hoping this is like the biggest home run Outright's ever had.
I know. And it's funny because when I was doing some homework to find images of this, I went to the TMNT subreddit. Big mistake.
And all they asked me, I had it all.
All they were talking about was like, well, Outright puts out shovelware, and I was like, you guys do not pay attention to Outright. Like the games that they have put out, their earlier games were not great. And we have said that on the show. Earlier games were, rough.
Mm-hmm.
But man, they have been on a real come up. And, some people were like, well, we haven't even seen footage. The game is 4 months away. It's like, my guys, do you not understand how marketing works? You don't market your game now.
Ooh, could we see this at Summer Games Fest?
You market. We might. I don't think we'll see it tomorrow at State of Play, but we might see it at Summer Games Fest. We might see a trailer at Summer Games Fest. Like if this game is coming out in September
this year, we don't know.
They just didn't say yet.
No, there's no date.
So when if it's coming out, let's say September, like they're not going to do hard marketing till July. Because why would you in May be like, hey, this game's coming out, like this is what it looks like.
It's gonna be May. Sorry,
so people, oh god, oh my god.
Yeah, well, and also we could probably say for everybody listening, we'll let you know when this game's coming out. We'll have stuff coming. I promise.
You are talking to 2 out of the 3 dads who are Outright ambassadors.
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing the living daylights. Like this game,
platinum level
co-op. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a plat. My daughter's very excited for this game too. She really liked the movie. and I love the animation style, how it looks exactly like the movie.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm very, very, very excited, and the collector's edition looks great.
Mhm.
Like, it actually looks good.
I am not a collector editions guy, and I'm thinking about purchasing this.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
That
This is
turtle van,
because
man.
yeah, well,
I
that's what
like
I'm
it a
looking
lot.
I'm looking at this one of the okay, there's some of the stuff in there for me, for my shelf, and then there's stuff in there for my daughter.
Yeah.
It's like a win-win. I
It's a
can't
win-win.
it's an easy purchase, and I can't get in trouble for it.
No, you cannot. If she enjoys it, you can't get in trouble for it.
Never. No, no,
Never.
it's I
Never.
bought her a Pasternak, and now it's on my shelf. She gave it to me.
Nice. I like it.
Worked out my fave.
I like it. Like it a lot. Um, I think that'll wrap us up for the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, you people, we gotta
Yeah.
understand next week we've got a show, but like there's gonna be we'll recap the state of play, and then we're gonna do our predictions for Summer Games Fest because that's literally right around the corner. Summer Games Fest. It's Christmas for gamers, and we get to have everything we want.
It really is. It's
And we're also gonna know what the Stanley Cup Final is gonna look like.
oh man. Give me Dallas.
It's gonna be Dallas and the Rangers, and it's gonna be boring.
I don't oh, I just
It's gonna be I'm being honest here.
I know. I know.
Florida, Edmonton is more exciting than Dallas and Rangers.
I
Dallas
just
and Rangers is gonna be everybody in New York's gonna think it's great. It's the New York Rangers, but as a Bruins fan, Rangers suck. And then the Dallas Stars, they're boring. No one cares.
I care.
I don't care about Joe Pavelski winning a Stanley Cup. I don't care. Wyatt Johnson, though, debating whether or not to buy his Young Guns card because
Really?
it's only $50 right now. And that guy
Stud.
gonna be good.
Stud.
He's gonna be really good. It's only 50 bucks.
Stud.
So for me, 50, so it's like $25 for you.
Mm-hmm.
That card's gonna 4 times
Dude,
easy in 3 years.
dude's gonna be a stud.
Huge stud.
Huge stud. Hey, let me ask you, Court. YouTube.com/Bruins Diehards. What is happening with Allmark?
So here is my thoughts right now. I was reading an article from our friend Ty Anderson.
Shout out Ty
Uh,
Anderson.
and I listen to 32 Thoughts religiously. It's the if you like hockey, it's the best hockey podcast, bar none. So currently right now on 32 Thoughts, last week they were talking about it, how during the trade deadline, as you and I both know, there was a trade for Linus Allmark to be traded to the Los Angeles Kings. That got denied. He used his right within his no trade clause, and he said, "I'm not going there." That means that LA was on his list, and he didn't go there. Now, later on, it's rumored the only reason he didn't go is because he didn't want to move his family west, because he did see it as an opportunity because the LA Kings, they are a good team. He just didn't want to move his family west at this time because he's lived in Buffalo and he's lived in Boston, so he's always lived on the East Coast. Um, he has a 15 team no trade list, so he can go to 16 teams. The rumor is currently right now the teams that are in the mix are the Carolina Hurricanes, who are, as Elliot Friedman reported on 32 Thoughts, are another team that approached the Boston Bruins during the trade deadline, and it's rumored to be Martin Necas,
Mm,
who I'll get into him more. I'll tell all the teams. And then the other one is the New Jersey Devils, which shouldn't come to a shock as anybody, but I look at what they have there. The Bruins need scoring and they need center help. Anybody who says they need defense, that obviously didn't watch the playoffs and haven't watched the Bruins for years. They
no,
now have a top 4 defense of Carlo, Lowry, Lindholm, and McAvoy that could rival any team out there. But then the other rumor is the Ottawa Senators. Now, would you want to trade Linus within the division? Because the package coming back is Jacob Chikrin, a first round pick, and another draft pick. Now, if you look at the Bruins, they need draft capital, but that first round pick is only 25th overall this year in the NHL entry draft. After the 20th pick, it kind of goes downhill prospect wise. So you would have Chikrin, who, yes, that would solidify your left side. So then your left side would be Lindholm, Lowry, and Chikrin. There's your left shot defense, but Chikrin's in the last year of his deal. He's going to want to raise next year. I think he's at 4.3, 0.45 on in the cap. Yes, it does something, but does that help anything? You're gaining cap space. You're taking a half mil off because Linus is 5 mil, but you're not solving any of your issues. And then you're definitely going to have to go in and sign Jake DeBrusk. For me, if just based on rumors. the deal to do is Martin Hs. One, he's one of the fastest players in the league. Two, he's friends with Pasternak and Zaka already. They just won a world championship together, so they're all buddy buddies. He wants out, and they have him on the wing here in Carolina. He actually plays center,
I was gonna say he's the centerman, which is what you desperately need.
and he got 27 goals last year in 77 games, 56 points, 27 goals. So to me, the deal to do, and this is all based on conjecture and rumors and stuff, and usually Elliot Friedman, um, he knows more than anything. So for me, the deal to do is the Martin HS deal. Now, if you're the GM of the Boston Bruins, though, because the cupboard's bare with regards to prospects, I don't see how you say no to the Ottawa Senators deal. But I think that has more to do with Linus Allmark. And he made a comment when he was talking to reporters at the end of the year. He was like, "You never know what team is good. I could say right now I don't want to go to a team, and 4 years from now they're going to be good." He's like, "A couple years ago, I wouldn't have wanted to go to Edmonton, and look at them now. They're one of the best teams in the league."
Right.
He's like, "You just never know." So maybe he does go to Ottawa to be a starter. But if you're Linus and you know the teams are Ottawa, LA, New Jersey, and Carolina, you're gonna pick Carolina or New Jersey.
Correct. And I mean, we know New Jersey's not giving you the number 9 or 10 or whatever they have. But you're like the Bruins draft picks this year is like 4, 5, and 6. And that's it. Like rounds. I don't think they have
Yeah, no, they don't have a draft pick in the 5th round. Yeah.
So it's not great. And you know, the thing like Natchez is a restricted free agent this year. So who knows? You know, if you pay him, you might not be paying Jake DeBrusk, especially if you still want to go after another center like Elias Lindholm.
Young too.
Yeah, he's 25. He's 25 years old. In the playoffs this year, 11 games in the playoffs, he had 9 points. Like he's
legit.
Past
the centerman.
He's legit. And if you don't want to sign DeBrusk and you want to pay him and you want to bring another center, I'm not a Steven Stamkos guy. People are clamoring for Stamkos, but he's getting a little long in the tooth.
He's 34, 35. I'll say this. Steven Stamkos is going to sign with Tampa Bay Lightning at like $4 million cap hit, which is even in Tampa, that's like actually like $7 million.
Yeah.
He ain't going anywhere.
And then
he's
retire,
out there.
Yeah.
I truly think this is what I think will happen. Yes, Linus Allmark 100% could get traded. And to be totally honest, it's actually going to hurt the Bruins. We have a 1-2 punch of two of the best goalies in the league. They're not going to win as many games as they did the year before. Maybe they do. Swayman's going to be great. He is the goalie of the future. But now Bussy's going to have to be that backup. That's going to be a tough one, but it is what it is.
Yep.
If they can do the Natchez trade, I still try and get Lindholm. And I would, and not a lot of people are talking about this, but I would be all over Sam Bennett.
Agreed. People aren't going to like him because of the Marchand thing, but I agree.
Oh, and I also, my other guy I look at, it would be Tyler Bertuzzi. I would want him back in Boston. I would let him back over Jake DeBrusk because Jake DeBrusk is inconsistent, and I know what I get with Tyler Bertuzzi.
Yeah.
He plays well in the system. He's in it to win it. That's the guy I would want. I would say walk away from DeBrusk, and he can go get $6.57 million from somewhere else and give $5 million to Tyler Bertuzzi.
I love it. But
that's the way I look at it.
The Bruins need a draft pick. The Bruins,
they do so bad, dude. But they're not going to have one.
They're not
going to trade.
And you know what? Like, I can't fault on Sweeney for going all in last year because that was the team.
Ago, yeah.
That was 2 years ago. Sorry, but that was the team, right? To go all in with, and it just didn't work out. But
nope, it is what it is.
It is what it is. You can't. You don't know. I am a little surprised that Carolina would go after Allmark because, like, I like that Coach Kickoff kid. Peter Coach Kickoff. They're not there. He started when Freddie Anderson was like out with his blood clots.
Not hold on. I literally was saying his name. I'll give you his name in a second.
Kochekov.
You said it.
It's Kochekov. No. Yes, it is.
No. I have it right here. Hold on. I literally said his name earlier. I had to look up it phonetically how to say it. And once I see it again, I'll say it properly.
Kochetkov.
That's it.
Kochekov. Yeah. I thought he was good. Like, I thought he was pretty good, and he's still young. He's really
he is really young. He's only 23 years old. But the way I look at this is they have Right now, the Carolina Hurricanes, they have more cap space than the Boston Bruins. They have 26 million, but they have Teravainen, Gensel, who's a UFA, so he might not come back, but
Right.
Teravainen's a UFA. You want him back. He got 23 goals. Seth Jarvis and Brett Pesce. Like, your money's gone.
True. I wonder then if they try to then, if they bring in Olmark, I wonder if
They
they
would
try to
move,
move Freddie Anderson.
yeah, they would move Freddie Anderson, but I think that would be easy to move. He's not a bad goalie. He's a good
No.
goalie, and his cap hit is only $3.5 million.
Yeah, you can move him to like an Edmonton and just get like whatever for it, and they'll Edmonton fans will go bananas for it because it's better than anything that they have right now.
Exactly. It's not a hard trade to do.
No, absolutely not. Court, anything else you want to touch on before we get out of here? That like 10 minutes ago, I was like, all right, we're signing off. And then we started talking about hockey. It just threw a ton of stuff at you.
That's okay. I can do hockey all day long.
We
It's so easy
could-
for me.
We could talk hockey for an hour and a half.
Oh, 100%. Well, what we'll do is we'll just do special Three Dads in a Console podcast near the beginning of the hockey season. Like, the draft is in 2 weeks, so
Yeah, the Wobble will be quiet the whole time. He'll just introduce us and outro us,
when
and
is
that's
the
it.
NHL draft? I thought it's real soon.
It is end of June.
Yeah, I thought it
June
yeah?
28th is like sticking out in my brain, but that's probably wrong.
Hold on. You're probably right. Who are you kidding?
I don't
It is the order's set, but what's the date?
know.
That was June 28th. You're exactly right.
Nailed it. Your boy nailed it. Can't remember what my work schedule is tomorrow. Can tell you when the NHL draft is to the exact
Now,
day.
if the Bruins get that pick back from Ottawa, that's their pick.
From which trade?
Bertuzzi.
Oh.
It went from Detroit to Ottawa.
Ah, there we go. Unbelievable.
You know another team that doesn't have a first round pick for a really long time? Tampa Bay Lightning.
That does not surprise me. They were dealing first round picks like it was going.
I can also say this over the podcast. Mitch Marner gave a 9-team trade no trade list, like trade list where he'd go to the team.
Boston on it?
God no. I don't know what's on the list, but
I would love Mitch Marner on the other side of David Pastrnak. For 1 year,
Yeah.
10 million,
Yeah,
I'd love it.
Sure.
Sign me up. For a year, I'll take a spin. Take a spin on the Marner train.
Fair.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the show today, head on over to youtube.com/3dads.console. Pop us a subscription. Maybe a like. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not your dad, but I am one of your 3 dads. You can find us on all major podcasting platforms. Shoot us a couple stars over there, anywhere between 4 to 5. Court, anything you want to say before we jettison out of here?
No, I hope everybody has a great weekend. Enjoy it. The weather looks like it's going to be beautiful where I live, so I hope it is where you are.
Well, it's going to rain tomorrow, but that means I don't have to water my plants. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon. Toodles.